What is up, guys? Back with another video. Look what my wife got. A full-blown bounce house playground. I'm gonna put some grass seed down outside. All right, guys, I just made them dinner. Grilled cheese. It looks rough, but hey. And then she wants cold noodles with cheese on it. What's up? Good morning, guys. Brand new day. I'm about to donate $1,000 to Feeding America. Appreciate everybody watching the channel. We just finished up at a baby doctor appointment. We're getting close. Weeks away, maybe days. Guys, we got the parts figured out for the E30. Now I'm just picking it up. We ordered the parts. I'm gonna bring it back when the parts come in. This is for the AC. For a second there, I didn't have any windows. I had no power to the windows. I didn't know that's a circuit breaker. That was popped. I pushed it in and then I could put the windows down. If you guys have an E30, I never knew that. I get a lot of comments with people asking, how do you invest? So I finally asked, are you saying how do you just the basics of investing, like buy a stock? And I had a lot of people say yes. That is what we're asking. So I never made a video about that. Well, I made a little bit of a video about it, but I've never really gone in detail. But I want to do it on a computer screen so you guys can really see exactly what to do. But first thing I'll say is this. The very first thing is you got to make sure that you're old enough to invest, for one. Two, you need to make sure you have a way to fund the account. So whether or not you have a bank account or a way to transfer money to the account. So that's the very, very first thing. If you don't have those things, then one, if you're not old enough, if you have a parent that's more involved, you could get with them and ask them, is it possible for you to create a custodial stock account for me? If you have a business-minded, like a business owner parent, if they were really savvy, they could provide you with $12,000 a year of income as an employee of the business. They can write off that amount of money. I don't know if it's still $12,000, but that's what it used to be. They could write off, I know this is getting a little out there. They could write off the $12,000 and they could open up, you could open up a Roth IRA, because you can't open up a Roth IRA unless you have income. But even if you're under 18, if they have a business, they can make you an employee and they can pay you up to $12,000 a year is what it used to be. And that's tax deductible for them. And then that money, that income, is what you could use to fund a Roth. But you can only max out $7,500, I think, on the Roth. But that's something later on. You'll listen to this later and you'll say, oh, I get what he was saying now. But if you're not old enough, you have to see if your parent can open a custodial stock account for you. And if you don't have a bank account or any way to fund your stock account, that's the second thing you're going to need. So you're going to have those before you can start investing. So first I'll just tell you, and then I'll show you on a computer. So what you'll need is, you'll need to figure out what brokerage you want to use. So me personally, I like to use the one that's connected to my bank. So I have Bank of America. I like to use Merrill Edge. The reason I like it is that when I log into my Bank of America account, I can see my bank account, my checking account, savings account, and I can see my stock account all in the same dashboard. I just find that to be nice. I don't have to log in and out of 1,000 different things. So depending on what bank you have, you can just Google it or go on ChatGPT. And if you have a bank, say, if you have Bank of America, you can open up a Merrill Edge account. If you have Wells Fargo, I'm sure they got their own thing. I'm sure Chase, JP Morgan, they probably have something connected. So you can do that. If you don't have a brokerage connected to the bank that you use, then you could open up an account with Fidelity. Fidelity is a good stock brokerage. If you get more advanced, I think you can do options and all kinds of stuff on there. But for just to open up a stock account, Fidelity could be great. And then if you want to just make it super simple, I know a lot of younger guys and stuff now, they just use Robinhood. So you can invest with Robinhood on your phone. You can download the app, or you can use the desktop computer to go to Robinhood. So that's number one. Some kind of income, so you have something to invest, a way to fund it, a bank account. And then three, find your brokerage. Your brokerage is the bank you're going to use, like the place you're going to buy, the marketplace you're going to go into to buy your stocks. Once you have those things set up, well, the brokerage you're not going to set up, but once you get to the brokerage point and you go to the website, you're going to be faced with a few different options and you're going to be confused. It's going to ask you, do you want to open a retirement account? Do you want to open a pension style account like a 401k or a SEP IRA? Or do you want to open up a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA? Or do you want to open up a taxable account? Are you opening this up as an individual? Are you opening this up as a business? Are you opening this up as a trust or with a partnership? And what you're going to do is you're just going to do an individual account. What I would recommend is, if you're over 18 and you have income, you open up a Roth IRA to start. The Roth IRA, you're going to put the money in taxed, but it's going to grow tax-free. So any gains you have, you're going to be able to withdraw them when you're older, completely tax-free. And here's the thing, the kicker though. Everything you put into the Roth that you contribute to it, you're able to withdraw. But any gains that are inside that Roth, you're not going to be able to withdraw them until your retirement age. So just keep that in mind. But a Roth, you can only put up to a certain amount per year. I think it's $7,500. But I don't want to get into all the little details so you're not confused, so you don't get too confused. But what you want to do is you want to open up a Roth IRA. Open up your Roth IRA, go through the steps, put in your social security number, your name, your address, and then once that's all done, it's going to say fund your account. And depending on whether or not it's connected to your bank account, or if it's not, you're still going to click, and you're going to connect your bank account, and you're going to fund it. There's a Bank of America right there. So then you're going to fund it. You're going to fund your account. So a lot of times people think like, oh, I saw a video one time, a girl said, oh my gosh, I've been investing in my Roth IRA for 3 years and I never bought a stock. So like a lot of times people don't know, but what they'll do is they'll transfer money. Like you're like, all right, I'm going to transfer $500 from my bank account into my Roth. And they think like, I invested. But that's not, you didn't invest. So picture this, the account is the basket that you're going to hold your stocks in. So you have a Roth IRA, that's a basket. A taxable account's a basket. And once you're inside that basket, then you're going to go to the marketplace and you're going to go and buy your stock. And once you buy your stock's going to be inside that basket, your Roth IRA. Some people think that they just transfer the money in and they're like, I invested. Like people that are very new. I've seen that a few times actually. So what you'll do is you'll fund your account. You might not be able to go and buy a stock once you put the money in your Roth or in your taxable account. It might need to settle. Sometimes it can take 24 hours, I'm not sure, depending on the platform. But once your money's in there and you're able to invest, you're going to go up inside your brokerage account and you're going to go to a little tab that says trade. They pretty much all say trade. When you click trade, it's going to say like stocks, fixed income, options. You're just going to click stocks. When you click stocks, then you're going to be faced with a little box that you can put a ticker symbol in. The ticker symbol is whatever, it's the symbol for the ETF or the stock or whatever it is you're going to buy. So like for example, Coca-Cola's ticker symbol is KO. So you would search KO if you wanted to buy Coca-Cola stock. And then you'll have a box that says quantity, and that'll be the amount of shares, not the dollar amount, but the amount of shares. Usually these things will have a calculator if you want to figure out like, you know, the dollar amount and how much money you have and the amount of shares you can buy. Or you can do it on your own. You can look at the price per share and say, oh, I've got enough for 2 shares. So you have once you're there and you're going to invest, you have the choice. This is what I'm always like, this is the investor dilemma. You have the choice between ETFs. Those are basket of stocks. You have the choice between single stocks. You have the choice of going and buying cryptocurrency. So it's up to you what ticker symbol you want to use. It's up to you what you want to own. So that's what a lot of these videos are about, is what's the best thing to own for your goal. So now let's just say, for example, you're young and you're like, all right, I have a Roth. A lot of guys will go out and buy a ton of single stocks and it's all messy in their account. But the data shows that the S&P 500 over time on a 10-year plus time period has pretty much outperformed everything. Now Bitcoin's seeming to outperform most things over a time period, but we don't know how long that's, you get what I'm saying, but that's separate. But we're talking about stocks, ETFs. So I recommend just buying VOO, the S&P 500. If you're a brand new investor and you're starting out, for example, my kids, I have their money in VOO and I have a little VGT. VGT is tech. But what I like about those 2 ETFs is that they're market cap weighted. So if you don't understand, a business has a market cap. The market cap is what the business is worth, the whole business. So let's say, for example, I don't know what Apple's worth, $2 trillion or something. I don't know, maybe 3, I don't know, a trillion, I don't know. That's worth $1 trillion. Well, let's just say, for example, I mentioned VGT. VGT is an ETF. Now that ETF, it's called an exchange traded fund. It's a basket of stocks. Those stocks that are inside that basket are picked by the fund manager, Vanguard. Now, when those stocks are put into that basket, some have a market cap. Let's say one is worth 20 million, one's worth $1 billion, one's worth $1 trillion. Well, when it's a market cap weighted ETF, over time, as one of those grows, for example, in VGT, Nvidia was worth 49 cents. Well, guess what? As time went on, Nvidia went from 49 cents up to 100 and some dollars. Well, the stock split too, I think. So what I'm saying is it grows inside the ETF. So it can be a little tiny weakling in the ETF, and then it can become a behemoth in the ETF. So what I love about market cap weighted ETFs is that rather than you picking a bunch of stocks and thinking that you're Warren Buffett, you could buy a market cap weighted ETF like VOO or VGT, and you can set it and forget it.
Ooh, all right. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea. Yeah.